Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. I hope you are well. Welcome to this session. So I'm very pleased and honored to be your moderator today to go through the final review of the research on business models. We shall be looking at 3 papers. Let's kick off with the session 1 on effective development banking.
We have discovered that a majority of NDBs have deployed both loans and guarantees in their operation.
The actual frictions that they see and may justify their actions are really strong enough to justify the deviation from the theoretical benchmark.
Okay, thank you very much for providing this analytical framework to guide which instrument between loans and loan guarantees is best suited to use for implementing NDB programs. So now let's move to the second paper.
But there are other risks which we call financial engineering risks, which are more linked to leverage and the creation of financial instruments.
Thank you very much for your insight, for presenting the type of risks, the type of instrument used by NDBs in normal times, and for providing an overview of NDB responses on the COVID crisis, both in the short and medium term. So now let's move to the third paper.
Less productive firms do not have higher probability of accessing public credit or loan, but the regional productivity average are significant factors explaining access to public finance.
Thank you very much, Laurent, for your presentation, showing what type of companies tend to benefit from NDB resources, and also some very interesting conclusion proving that NDBs tend to provide more finance in less developed localities, in addition to the counter-cyclical role they may play in times of crisis. So now we're moving to the discussion session.
In practice, what one sees in the real life of many national development banks is that blended financing also operates at a project level.
My first is that the paper doesn't refer to exchange rate risk. I understand there is a specific paper on that, but I think it's quite important. For example, in my discussions with the World Bank people about their support to national development banks, this issue was top.
Affects the result if you looked at the size of the loan, notably regarding the state-owned enterprise that may get bigger loans than the small enterprises.
On the empirics, I think the counter-cyclical lending concept that Laura explored is a very interesting one. And I was just wondering if we could extend the concept.
We're heading towards the end of the session, but I think we can take one question.
And I would like to know, to have some thoughts about the situation of national and regional development banks, their constraints, how can they increase their capital base?
I think there is a history whereby development banks which are older and in richer countries have helped those in poorer countries or in problems.
Thank you very much, the authors, for your time, and also the audience, the discussants. And we look forward to another round of business model research. So I think we're going to have a 5-minute break, and then another session will start. So all the best. Bye-bye.